And now for a Next News special report.
In a world where justice should be blind, is everyone truly equal before the law? Representative Jamaal Bowman's recent fire alarm stunt in the Capitol has triggered a flurry of questions, especially when one contemplates the potential consequences. Imagine if a J6 protester had done the same. Would they be facing merely a slap on the wrist, or would they be languishing in solitary confinement, awaiting a long prison sentence? This report digs deep into the unsettling answers and the media's eyebrow-raising treatment of the incident. More than just an alarm, it's a siren sounding off about the apparent double standards in our republic. As we delve deeper, don't miss our final thought. You'll be startled by the revelation, and trust us, it's a perspective that'll make you question the very foundations of our justice system. Now, folks, before we unveil the shocking details about the Capitol Hill latest scandal, here is something that you should know. Our top-tier investigations are powered by our fantastic sponsors. By backing them, you're championing the truth that we deliver daily. And speaking of truths, after hitting 30, we all face 5 to 10% muscle mass decline every decade. Felt that decline in energy strength? Well, I have. And that's why I've embraced this game-changing solution. It's designed with a potent mix of 4 scientifically proven ingredients to combat age-driven muscle loss, amplify performance, and accelerate recovery. And here is the kicker. There's a whopping 41% discount, but only while supplies last. Jump on this exclusive deal at gainwithgary.com or click more below this video. Together, let's stay strong and informed. Now, on to the story at hand. Representative Jamaal Bowman's recent antics at the Capitol have raised many eyebrows. While charged with a single misdemeanor for pulling the fire alarm, some argue that this isn't just about a mischievous act. If we delve deeper, this could be seen as obstruction of congressional proceedings, a serious federal felony punishable by up to 5 years. Watch.
Congressman Jamaal Bowman turning himself in moments ago. Fox News cameras capturing this exclusive video of the squad member surrendering. The lawmaker from New York is expected to plead guilty after being charged with falsely pulling the fire alarm at a congressional office building. It happened just before the House voted on a stopgap spending bill to fund the government. Last month, Bowman is set to be arraigned at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time.
For context, Bowman, known as a member of the Progressive Squad and founder of the Cornerstone Academy for Social Action, committed an act that is far from trivial. His actions interrupted essential proceedings, which might not appear significant on the surface, but in the grander scheme, impacts the functioning of our republic. Bowman's decision had consequences, leading to the evacuation of the building for over an hour and delaying a crucial congressional vote. These are not mere inconveniences. They are disruptions in the essential proceedings of our nation. Notably, the consequences for such actions seem to have a vast discrepancy. While Bowman faces a misdemeanor, J6 protesters, many without prior records, find themselves facing significantly harsher penalties. But it's not just about the act itself, it's about the aftermath. The judicial summons document paints a clear picture. Bowman, initially facing a misdemeanor charge of false fire alarm, could have been subject to 6 months in prison, a fine, or both. But an agreement with the D.C. Attorney General reveals that all charges might be dropped in 3 months. This leniency has provided that he offers a formal apology and pays a $1,000 fine. The question remains, would others be afforded the same generosity? After all, the alarm was not pulled in jest or without consequence. The alarm disrupted a meeting on a Republican-backed bill meant to keep the government funded. Disrupting this process is no small matter. Now, while Bowman's team offers explanations that can be perceived as bizarre, asserting that the congressman didn't realize he would trigger a building alarm, well, many find it hard to believe. As a former school principal, one would think he understands the consequences of such actions. He later stated he thought pulling the alarm would open a door while rushing to vote. But the skepticism isn't just from the general public. Members of Congress, including Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, have voiced their doubts regarding Bowman's accident claims. They've also called for his expulsion, questioning the authenticity of Bowman's claims. In a recent walkthrough of the U.S. Capitol building, Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene addressed the incident where Jamaal Bowman allegedly pulled the fire alarm. She emphasized that the doors in question are typically open on weekdays, and members of Congress are well aware of this. Drawing on Bowman's background as a former middle school principal, Greene suggests he was fully aware of the implications of his actions after the alarm was pulled, The building was evacuated for over an hour, significantly delaying a congressional vote. Green called for consequences for Bowman, drawing parallels to the legal actions taken post-January 6th. Watch this.
Hi everyone, we're at the infamous door where Jamaal Bowman claims he had to pull a fire alarm to get out. Now these doors are open on weekdays. Every member of Congress knows that, everybody that works here knows that. But on Saturdays and Sundays, they are locked, and only certain doors are open on Saturdays and Sundays. Now come on over here. This right here is a fire alarm. Nowhere does it say, pull the fire alarm to open the exit door. Doesn't say that, and I think ex-middle school principals know better. Let me show you how we go when we need to go vote. I know this because my office is in here in Keenan Building. Come on, go this way. Oh, look, there's stairs. By the way, we had to use the stairs to evacuate the Keenan Building after Jamaal Bowman pulled the fire alarm. Now, here's where you have an option. As members of Congress, we can continue to go down the stairs this way, and you can go in the basement, and we can walk in the tunnel that goes under the road to the Capitol. We do that all the time, especially if the weather's bad. Or you can come around this way. See where that says exit? It exits out on New Jersey. This one is open all the time. Not just some of the time, all the time. So let's explain very clearly again. Jamaal Bowman didn't pull the fire alarm to try to get out of the building because he had to rush to go vote. I know that for a fact because I also work in the Cannon office building, and I watched Catherine Clark, the Democrat whip, make a motion to adjourn, and then within minutes, Jamaal Bowman pulled a fire alarm, and he knew he was pulling a fire alarm because he's a former middle school principal, and then he ran out of the building and didn't tell anybody he did that. And this building was evacuated for over an hour, and Congress had to hold the vote open. That's usually only 15 minutes on the first vote. They held it open for over an hour as well. There's some serious problems for Jamaal Bowman, and he needs to be prosecuted for violating the same federal law that they are prosecuting January 6 defendants and President Trump.
Green emphasized the discrepancies in the treatment of incidents like these. She pointed out that the doors in the Capitol are typically open weekdays, and given Bowman's background, he should have been well aware of the implications of his actions. Yet in the face of all these actions and potential consequences, what's truly astounding is the media's response, or rather lack thereof. When news broke about Bowman's actions and the subsequent charge, the big three networks, ABC, CBS, and NBC, well, they chose to turn a blind eye. Their flagship newscast didn't cover Bowman's criminal charge on Wednesday evening. But it wasn't the case for all media outlets. Fox News Channel's flagship newscast special report highlighted this incident with a comprehensive report. Take a look.
Breaking tonight, the Democratic congressman who pulled the fire alarm before a House spending vote will surrender to Capitol Police tomorrow. Congressman Jamaal Bowman is facing a criminal charge.
We're learning tonight that Congressman Jamaal Bowman of New York has been charged with a misdemeanor in D.C. Superior Court. He will be in court tomorrow morning at 9:30. Brett, he will also, as you mentioned, have to surrender to U.S. Capitol Police to be fingerprinted. Now, this charge is for falsely pulling a fire alarm 3 weeks ago during a House vote on a GOP bill to keep the government open. At the time, you'll remember House Democrats were trying to stall that vote. According to court documents obtained by Fox News, Bowman told police that when he did this, he didn't tell anyone that he'd pulled the fire alarm and simply just left. Now, he just reacted to Fox News moments ago about this charge, saying that he has struck a plea agreement, and he claims that Capitol Police agree with him that he did not obstruct those House proceedings.
As I said from the very beginning, I pulled the firearm out the door. I shouldn't have done that. And so the DC AG did what they had to do. I have to pay a $1,000 fine. In 3 months, as long as I stay out of trouble, the case will be dismissed. The charges will be dismissed.
Do you regret your decision at all?
I mean, it was a lapse in judgment, if you will.
So he's saying he's just going to have to pay $1,000 of a fine and just stay out of trouble for 3 months, and this will all go away.
It poses the question, if a Republican had pulled this stunt, would the media coverage have been different? Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene certainly thinks so, drawing parallels between the legal actions taken post-January 6th and the lax treatment Bowman seems to receive. It's essential to ask, where is the consistency in our republic's justice? While we can argue back and forth about intentions and mistakes, the fact remains that the elected official caused disruption in our republic's proceedings. This isn't about partisan politics, it's about fairness, it's about accountability, and about ensuring that those who are chosen to represent us do so with the highest integrity. Ladies and gentlemen, this incident, as alarming as it is, unveils a truth that's even more shocking: the glaring hypocrisy within our justice system and the media's selective coverage. When Bowman can get away with a mere slap on the wrist for an act that could arguably be a Class A felony, which typically carries a punishment of up to 30 years in prison, one must wonder why the leniency. If he were a J6 protester, the narrative might be starkly different. Instead of facing a potential 30-year sentence, they would likely already be in solitary confinement, the media condemning them round the clock. Our media's willful ignorance of Bowman's act is not just biased, it's perilous to our republic. If our institutions can so blatantly pick favorites, sidelining integrity for partisanship, our republic stands on shaky ground. If we don't demand accountability now, when will we? The clock is ticking. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.